Hey folks, I'm the Mysterious JG. Welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 2, and sorry it took 45 minutes to get past Heatman stage. Woodman may or may not be a pain in the ass to beat with, Heatman is like the weapon that you can beat him with like only 2 shots. But in fact, you're really supposed to beat him with metal blades, I think, is the easiest one, because charging up Heatman's weapon and shooting it at the right time is challenging. So I think what I want to do is actually have access to Metal Man's weapon when we take on Woodman, so if beating him with Heatman weapon becomes a pain in the ass, we can just switch over to metal blades. Because the video beating Heatman stage has kind of dissuaded me from the try to make things more difficult than they need to be concept that I had. The only robot master who has a weapon that really strongly influences your ability to pass through other people's stages is Flashman, so we could do him next just so we have the maximum opportunity to actually use his weapon for anything. But it's really the most useful in Quickman stage, which we already beat. I also think he's technically weak against Metal Man. Let's just take on Metal Man next, why not? Bubble Man is a great weapon to use against Heatman, who we already beat. He's also the only weapon you can use to defeat the end boss, because it's one of the hardest weapons to use. Airman's weapon is meant to be used against Crashman. Woodman's weapon is meant to be used against Airman. I think the general pattern is you're supposed to beat Metal Man, then Flashman. That gives you mostly what you need to beat Quickman, although sometimes you save him for last because he's a pain in the ass. But Metal Man usually is first, because that gives you the option of going after Bubble Man or Flashman or Woodman. You want to beat Woodman before you beat Airman. You want to beat Bubble Man before you beat Heatman. Heatman doesn't really help you against any of the other Robot Masters so much. I think you're supposed to beat Heatman stage last because you're supposed to get item 2 before you take him on. Either way, let's go with Metal Man next. And how can you not think he's a badass? He's a frickin' robot, he's got gremlin ears, and he's got a saw blade sticking out his forehead. That's badass. Now, he's got a little bit of complication to his stage, because this is the classic 8-bit NES conveyor belt jumping fun. These are nasty. I believe they do more damage in hard difficulty. And Capcom loved them some conveyor belts, and it loved some spikes coming down from the ceiling to kill you. I believe we get most of this near the end of Codename Viper as well. If you want to double check and see if I'm right about that, go head on over to Bobo the Vulture's channel. He did a full playthrough of Codename Viper. Capcom's answer to another game he LP'd, which was Rolling Thunder. Capcom version had a little bit probably less difficulty, but it did not feature the Tengen seal of quality. So this section here is supposed to, I mean, if you're a kid and there's no time limit on this game. There's no scoring system, unlike the first Mega Man, so if you just take your time, these guys are easy power-up drops. I did discover they're highly frustrating when I played a little bit of the challenge mode of this game, where, and by this game I mean the Mega Man collection, where they take little stretches from various Mega Man games and force you to go through them and beat a certain time limit. Because there's no way, obviously, to clear these things without taking a lot of damage if you're not willing to just do what I'm doing, which is how you're actually supposed to deal with them. They show up again in the last Wily stage, just purely from a, like, okay, let's give the player a chance to get some power-up drops before they, face the final boss perspective. And here you need, ooh, we actually have it, though, right? Item 1. Didn't showcase this yet? Let's see it now. Little floating platforms that disappear after a second. We also have an E-tank, because this stage just generously gives you one up front. There's not a whole lot of point in holding on to it unless we think we can beat Metal Man and another boss all in one set of continues. So I may just find myself using it if we get to a point where we're going to die a stamina death. I'm playing it on hard difficulty, aren't I? It seems like these aren't taking that many shots to defeat. The big challenge of these guys, of course, is that, well, here's a nasty one because it kind of triggers as you jump, yes. But the main challenge of those guys is that you try to avoid taking damage, then you end up respawning them because the conveyor belt floors move you back. Okay, I am playing on hard difficulty, that's why. That's why that happened. Otherwise, I could have just one-shotted that guy. So I've reaffirmed the hardcore badass difficulty setting that I thought I'd chosen. That E-Tank, I'm pretty sure I could get with the aid of... I could probably drop down, get out with item 1, but there'd be a real good chance that I would... Anytime in Mega Man you're jumping with the ceiling over you, there's a good chance you're gonna get knocked down and miss your jump, so I'm not gonna risk it. This jump you don't need item 1 to make. I'm gonna make it so that it's foolproof, basically, and then forget that you can't switch away from item 1 until it leaves the screen, which was annoying and I'd forgotten about that. Oh, I'm wasting the... This is the weakness of Metal Man. I should not be using this. But whatever. Is this the end of the stage coming up? There you go. That was a bit of a cakewalk compared to Heatman's stage. Another reason that he's a good robot master to take on early. He's weakest against quick boomerangs, but... I mean, as a kid, I was just... because he just shoots at you from far away. I guess he does cross the screen if you come towards him. But I was just used to fight him from a distance using Mega Buster, and it always worked. But yeah, you know, went to all the trouble to get Quick Man weapon. Might as well use it. So that was a little faster than Heatman's stage, wasn't it? Yeah, about the same amount of time. Roughly equal, I guess. Yeah, 45 minutes for Heatman, and what, less than 5 for Metal Man? No, we got to 7 minutes. You're fast, JG. You weren't that fast. Get over yourself. Alright. So we're going to save the game here. And we are going to come back and take on another Robot Master in the next video. Probably Woodman. Maybe Bubble Man. I don't know. Not Airman. I don't feel like dealing with Airman without the wood shield. Because I don't even vaguely remember any tactics for avoiding his shots. You just have to damage him faster than he damages you, which basically means Woodman weapon. So next time, I think we'll go after that Woodman weapon. Let's talk about those monster trucks. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching, and hope you join me next time for more Mega Man 2. Bye-bye.